Welcome back to Radio Entrepreneurs. My name is Alexander Stablowski. I'm the executive producer here, filling in for Jeffrey Davis of Mage LLC, who's the founder of Radio Entrepreneurs and also the host. Just so you know, you can find us on our social platforms: Google, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and also download our app on your smartphones, on your Android, Apple, or even your tablets. Across from me, joining me today is Sean Lorenz from Senter with an S.
With an S.
How are you doing, Sean?
Good. How are you doing?
Good. Well, pleasure to have you here.
Thanks.
But
Good to be here.
tell me about Senter. Tell our listeners what Senter does.
Sure. So Center's a relatively new startup based here in Boston, and we help reduce medical expenditure by finding, the sickest people in our population. Oftentimes, 5% of the population costs around 50% of the healthcare dollars. And so really those really sick, the sick of the sick, we want to try to keep them out of the hospital. So what Senter does is we use Internet of Things devices. This could be anything from scales to bed mats that go underneath your mattress, to wearables, to connected pill dispensers, to motion sensors. We use all these kind of devices in a home. And then what we do is we use artificial intelligence and machine learning algorithms to predict whether or not we think someone is going to actually go back into the hospital, and make sure we alert the doctors, the care providers, the family, as well as the person in the home, to keep them out of the hospital so that it reduces the amount of costs on the entire healthcare system.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot that I have to say is, wow, how did you come up with this idea, and what made you start this company?
Sure. So I think it's been a mixture of things. I think there's, my background, I did my PhD in computational neuroscience at Boston University, and, a lot of people call it deep learning, which is really hot right now. And so my interest has always been in sensors and data. Only I was studying these sensors, right? Like, how does our touch and taste and smell all kind of combine and then produce a cognitive behavior, right? How do we move? How do we live? And how do our senses actually create that in the brain? So, I started getting in after my PhD into the Internet of Things. I worked with LogMeIn on their Xively platform, which is a big IoT connectivity platform, also based in Boston. And that really is what kind of launched my interest in the Internet of Things. And really, after I left LogMeIn, I wanted to combine those two things, so the intelligence part with the Internet of Things part. So once you have the sensors and the what to do with the data, I wanted to combine that. And really, at that same time, the Affordable Care Act was launched, and or what Obamacare is what a lot of people call it. And the idea was to transition from fee-for-service kind of medicine to more value-based care. And so, because we are now suddenly trying to, instead of put people in beds in hospitals, we want to keep them out. We want to show that hey, how can we keep you out of the hospital? And really, how people were approaching this up to where Senter came in is more mobile apps, more kind of they're called population health management applications, basically managing your care using an app, because that's all we knew. But the future and where things are moving, the Internet of Things, wearables, health, smart health devices, the future is going to be we can just manage your health in our home, and the future of the smart home is actually in your health, I think. And so really that's where the idea came about, was this kind of combination of my background with where we're moving in the healthcare world in the United States, and actually across the world, is moving towards more of a health value-based care system.